my gosh, really? You didn't wave at me.
I was waiting, but you weren't looking up. Tell them what we're doing tonight.
Okay, all right. Hi, everybody. Today at our acrylic YouTube channel, what we're going to talk about acrylic painting, and we want to talk about the Salvador replacement kit set. We're going to do a painting using just what they call their professional premium replacement set for their kit. And we're going to look at, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors. And, John, okay. And what we want to do is really just see if those colors are going to be enough for what we want to do, right? So I'm going to do a painting tonight. Someone's going to win it from our live studio audience. And we're going to just play with those 6 colors and see what we come up with. And I bet you're going to learn a few color mixing tricks that you didn't know about. So stay tuned.
Ginger Cook, the queen of color, with a blazing brush at the speed of light, and a blank canvas, and a hearty yes and yes. The queen of color, Ginger Cook, and her sidekick, John Little, teach you to paint with acrylics. Well, Ginger, tell us about those 6 colors.
Well, John,
that you counted off to make sure they were all there.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those ones. You're talking about those ones?
I'm talking about those ones.
For those of you who have never heard of Salvador paint, right? It's something we discovered just right around Christmas time, and this is basically the original kit you get. They're minus 1 color, which I put somewhere and can't find, but bear with me, right? So you get 24 colors of paint plus a large tube of white. There was a really pretty green in here that I put somewhere and can't find it. That's all right. And which is, for under $25, which we thought, and plus these brushes, a little palette knife, and a little, paint tray. And, and we have a coupon code that still works, we think. And,
yep, still does.
And you can then get an additional 15% off. In fact, last week Amazon put those on a fast deal for like an hour, and oh my gosh, they got down to like $16. So, but people have said, well, the tubes are really small. Even though we did all our Quarantine Quickies with these, like 2 months in a row we did these with just one paint set, which was pretty impressive. But people said, well, I wish you could, once you're out of a color, then what do you do? Well, they sent us this little 6 professional premium colors, and these are the colors right here. Let me just move this out of the way. These are the colors. There's primary yellow, turquoise, which is actually a cyan color. Here's the Holbein cyan. You can see they're almost identical.
Very close.
And we've got the green. So basically the numbers they sent us were 3, 5, 6, 3, 5, 4, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 8, 3, 6, 3, and 3, 6, 2, which is a black, a white, a magenta, which looks very red to me, and primary yellow, blue. And so I thought it would be fun. I'll do a painting tonight, and we're just going to use these colors. What can we get? Can we make this work? Okay. So here's the size of the bottles, and what do they sell this replacement kit for? Do you remember?
It's $19.95.
How much?
$19.95.
All right, $19.95. But there's a lot of paint. So in fact, do me some math. This is 2 ounces of paint, John.
Yes, there's so 2 times 6 is 12 ounces of paint.
For $19.95.
Yeah.
So how many ounces of paint are in these ones? There's a 0.4 in the 24 and a 0.7. So do that and do the math for me. You got 24 at 0.4 ounce.
0.4 ounce?
Yeah.
So you're less than a half an ounce.
Yeah. All right. So let's say it's a half an ounce.
No, 0.4 times 24 colors is 9.6 ounces, and then you have the extra white,
which is 0.7.
And that's a 0.7. So you're a little over 10 ounces.
So you have 10 ounces of this kit. And how many did you get in this kit?
What did I say? It was 2 times, say 12 ounces. You got 2 more ounces in that kit.
For less money. But you're not. But of course, they threw some brushes and other stuff in there.
Yeah, but see, you're getting the brushes and other
but
stuff.
You're getting. So it's still a good deal, right?
Yeah.
So it's a good deal.
We think you can do In theory, you should be able to make any color because your printer works off of cyan, yellow, magenta, and black.
So that's what we're talking about. See the difference? All right.
Yeah.
So 363, C3. So you've asked us for that. This is sort of our little color chart. So we just thought it would be fun to just take these 6 colors, which they seem to be very fond of, and move the box.
Now, our discount coupon code does not work on this kit.
No.
That was only for the big kit.
But so you're talking about...
And that could die at any moment. We don't know.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how long she can keep it running.
And I'm just going to move these out of the way. But those are what we got, right?
Oh, let me put those back in the box, please.
We're going to put those... John's going to... Well, you don't have to do it right this second.
Oh, yes, I do.
John's going to get up right now. He's a sock folder. He's going to put these back in the box.
Because you've already stole one of my colors.
Okay, so while he's doing that, we'll put a few paints out. And listen, I want to thank our moderators for coming tonight. And
whoever they may be.
Whoever you are. Thanks so much for showing up, right? Here's some white. It does squeeze out nicely. Here we go. That's nice. A couple of whites, yeah. I like the flip top of those.
And they seal very nicely.
They do seal nicely. And I can do that one-handed, aren't you impressed? One-handed here. We'll have to open them with both hands, but there you go.
Yeah, right. It's a challenge to open. They're foil sealed.
Who's counting? Yeah, but still, they're honestly, I think they're well thought out, and it's not easy competing in the paint market in the United States. It just isn't. There's certain brands that we all just kind of use. I mean, I didn't discover Holbein, which I really loved until late last year, and I've discovered I love them. And then they come from Japan. These, I think, are probably made in China.
Yeah.
All right, so there's our magenta. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes and yes?
So you should be able to do everything with that.
But here's the thing. You're going to use a lot more yellow and white in mixing. So, you've got to think about that. So we're going to put a couple yellows out because you're going to use more of that.
Depending upon what you're doing.
Because remember, yellow and blue make green. Red and yellow make orange. You got so many things that yellow happens, and then white lightens. Black and yellow makes a green. Well, we're going to just play. If you're having fun with these color mixes, let's just play. The first thing, I'm going to do a floral tonight, probably an iris. And not probably, it's what I intend to do, is an iris. Just
I wasn't going to say anything.
Hopefully it'll look like an iris. That's the plan, right? If it doesn't,
that's what we're going for.
Enjoy the color mixing experience. Just... we will be, John just mailed out our last giveaways from last week, yesterday.
Yes.
And
we're mailing on Wednesdays now.
We're mailing on Wednesdays now, and listen, if you happen to, get your painting in the mail and you're part of our Facebook club, let us know. You got it. It's nice to know.
Shirley would like to know, what should I do if I can't get the caps to stay on once opened?
Oh, Shirley, this is the bane of all artists because it's
No. Of non-sock folder artists.
Well,
I have no problem putting the tops back on.
Well, perfect. I have said when you get a brand new tube of paint, which I don't practice what I preach, so don't get mad, right? But one of the things you can do is dip the cap in water every time you put it back on, and generally you don't have that problem.
It'll clean the thread.
I have discovered that tub of towels will clean the caps pretty good. That's let me just find my tub of towels here. That's these guys. These heavy-duty cleaning wipes, they're very nice for cleaning the top off a cap and getting it back on. For instance, when you can't get the cap back on, say, golden, a Liquitex cap often fits. The thing about Liquitex, which is the one thing that I admire about them, is their caps are self-cleaning. And so that you never I never had a problem in my life with caps when I use Liquitex. But I like so many other brands of paint better for myself personally. And it's gone over a lot of changes over the years, and so it's not the paints that I talk about anymore. But if you have arthritis or you have problems with your hands and you're having trouble with caps, then I would switch to Liquitex for that reason. So you can get the caps back on and off. Because that's important. The other thing you can do is you can also buy paint in jars. Now, the advantage to buying a paint in a jar is that you get a lot, like a jar like this is stucco, but you can get them in jars, right? The advantage to buying paint in jars is that, like any kind of packaging, bulk packaging, you get, make more money. I mean, you'll save money because there's usually an extra tube of paint in every jar. The problem is if you're not a sock folder, you're going to mess up the contents of that jar when you get in a hurry. But if you were a sock folder, you wouldn't need to buy the jar anyway because you could keep the caps. There you go, right? So sort of a catch-22. All right, let's start with yellow and do a tiny bit of black. And what do we get? Okay, a little bit of yellow, tiny bit of black.
Green.
And we have it.
Oh.
Well, we have an olive green.
It's a gorgeous
Okay.
green. It's an
We
army
have an
green.
olive green. So we'll just put a little of that up there like that. Here you go. See, there's an olive green.
Looking good.
All right, so we're just kind of playing here. There's an olive green. Now, what if I took some yellow and added this cyan blue? What would I get? Well, that's a nice green. So I've got this kind of a bright green like that. I'm going right over yellow. Okay. That's pretty. What if I added white to that? Ooh, that's pretty.
That's almost that green that you like right there.
That's pretty. If I add a little bit more white to that, a little bit more yellow, what if I did that? Ooh, that's pretty. Yes and yes. Okay.
And you all
yeah.
started this off with just black and yellow.
Yeah, starting with black and yellow. Now, what if we added a tiny bit of the magenta to that? What would we get? Ooh, we get a kind of an olive green, but not. Black and yellow is almost a dead color when you use black, but you can see it's a little bit more opaque. Do you see that? See that? We're getting that. So let's take some more blue to that and white. And ooh, that's sort of. Then all we did was just add blue and white to that, and what do we get? It's sort of a turquoisey, blue-green color. Yes and yes.
That's a nice color too.
That's nice. Yeah. See, I'm just kind of doing little X's. Now, what if we just added white to that? Okay. That's pretty.
Tasmania has received their painting just today.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
That's down under. That only took a
Alright.
while. Thank you for letting us know. Appreciate knowing that,
Yeah,
for sure.
so there's that, right? Now, what if we added more white to that? Okay. Okay, what do we get? So this is even a lighter blue. I'm saying a sky
that's
blue.
a patty blue.
That's pretty, yeah. That's the color of our car.
The first patty.
First Patty, who was named Patty, and it was a pretty.
The first Patty who was named Patty. That's good, honey. That's letting them know what's going on.
John names all his vehicles, right? I never named a vehicle in my life.
See how they treated you?
Yeah. So
Just
now
saying.
I'm going to add a little bit more yellow to that. Let's just do that. See, a little bit more yellow. Now what do I get? All right, some sort of interesting bright green. Yes and yes.
Look at all the colors of green you're getting.
Yeah. Okay. So I've got that. Now what if I added a little bit of their green to this, right? Let's just take their green and put it in there. So then that gets you into your golf course colors in a heartbeat, right? Okay, so but there you go. So you can see we've got some different greens in this group, right?
That's
Now,
pretty amazing.
It is pretty amazing. Now this is still wet, so let's play with this a bit. Let's take a little bit of white and yellow and just
Have some fun.
Just do something like that. Just a little bit of white and yellow, just what's still wet, kind of like that.
Now, did I hear you wash off your brush?
I did. I cleaned my brush.
Did you squeeze it?
I did.
So it's just a damp brush, not a wet
Yeah,
brush.
damp brush like this, and I'm just going to come down here a little bit more yellow on this, right?
Carolyn got her painting yesterday. She was one of the pink flowers. That was one of my favorite. That was a gorgeous painting.
That's one of my favorite too. All right, so I've got
Sorry
this
to see
right
that
up
one
here,
go.
right like that. Everybody's good with that, right? Okay. So you can see where we're getting some interesting colors in the background. I think what if we wanted a purple? Now, that's pushing it because
Oh, you can do it.
red and blue can make a nice purple, yes. You know, this magenta and blue color make a nice purple. But red and green are complements, and so when you start adding purple over wet, I'm going to put a little white with that, over wet,
I bet you get mud.
you'd get mud if you didn't dry this. But this little corner up here is kind of, this little corner up here is sort of dry at this point. This little corner is dry. So I'm going to just barely, let's get some more white with that. I'm going to barely touch this, just kind of pull it over here like this, and just suggest that there might be a little purple in this. Let's put a little of white on top of that.
You're lightly dabbing it and not brushing it around.
Yeah, I'm barely touching it. I'm just kind of dragging it over the top. All right, okay? I'm just barely touching that. Okay, so just, because if I keep going into the green, it'll just turn all muddy, so you don't want to do that, right? So, okay, so you can stick to the blues. You can stick, if something's more blue, you can play with it. You can say, for instance, if you wanted something more blue in a picture like this, you could put blue, say, in black, and maybe some white. A little bit of blue, black, and white. What would you get? Let's see, what would we get up here? You'd get a really dark color. Do you see that? How dark that would be? If you wanted something real dark. All right. So that kind of is one of the reasons I'm a little, you have to be very careful with black because it's like kryptonite. So let's just take some more blue and a little bit of yellow with it. And I'm going to hold the brush very flat like this, and I'm going to just, okay, a little bit, let's just take that yellow. Yeah, see what I'm doing? Just barely touching it.
What are Ginger's concern with the Liquitex paints?
I've just found the pigment in other paints to be better for me. How's that?
There you go.
I like the pigment better than some of the other paints. But again, they've certainly nailed, I want to lighten this up too. Here we go. Look, see, I'm going to add some light up here to this background. See, I can be careful, and then I won't just keep mixing colors. So if I want something a little darker in here, for instance, a little darker green. Let's take a little bit of that blue and green together and a little bit of the red. Let's make a darker green. If I wanted to say something was darker in here, you can have some fun with the backgrounds. You know, and I'm gonna, since I know I've got some flowers being painted, there's gonna be some flowers here. I'm gonna play a little bit with my background here like that. So I'm gonna be putting a flower in here. Yes, 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 and yes. All right, so there's my kind of cool background. And let's see, let's try a little bit more white. All right, you with me? Let's see, a little bit more white. Haven't rinsed the brush. I'm gonna just lighten something down in here like that. All right, so I pretty much, this is about all I can do with this because it's so wet without drying it. So that's what we're going to do now, but before I do that, let's just do one more thing. Let's take some of that yellow color and the green. Let's make a really, really light green. Okay? And let's just come up here like that. I'm going to just create some, I don't know, something up here. I'm going to say that there's where our flower is going to be. Okay? So I've got this flower that's going to be in here. I'm just doing that. This is where, you know, you put the music on, get a little artistic. No two backgrounds are ever going to look the same. So have fun with this, right? So let's try this.
Wait, before you start that, can you ask Ginger what is the best coloring pencils to use?
Yeah, we like these white ones.
These white ones.
I like the white ones, you guys. They're
Is that the cat
to draw stuff on with that. If you're talking about colored pencils for colored pencils, then that's different. There's a brand out there that's the best that I forget right now. But if you're talking about just drawing stuff on your canvas, this one is neat. And let's see. What is the brand? It's on our website. It's Gioconda.
Yeah, Giocondas.
Yeah. Giocondas.
And they have the whole color set.
They have the whole color set, but the ones I use the most are white and, you know, maybe brown or, you know. Kim sent me a whole set of 6 with white ones. You can buy just white ones. They're nice and they sharpen well. All right.
Now you can dry.
All right. Good, good.
All right. As she's drying that, I saw a conversation going back and forth about how you're getting watercolor effect. It is not gesso. It is the absorbent ground. Gesso is your typical coat that you put on a canvas just for your regular acrylic and oil paintings. It's called absorbent ground and it's made by Golden. And there's a special way to apply it. Thin coats, lots of them. The more layers, the more watercolor effect you can get. So just make sure you do the right substance there. Exciting news, we have an auction coming up in July. The date has not been finalized yet, but we've got a wide variety of pieces that we'll be offering from our collection. We started to get organized and clean up our studio area, and we have got literally well, over 500 paintings, and we need to reduce our inventory as it was, well, as it would be. So look for that. More exciting news on that coming soon. It'll be in July sometime. Like I said, the date has not been finalized. We are upgrading the website once again, and hopefully we won't lose our members when we do that have already signed up.
All right. All right, so I'm going to take some white paint.
So you just assumed I had you turned back on?
Am I back on?
Yes, you are.
I'm going to take some white paint, and I'm going to start drawing in the petals of my flowers. This is white, and just got an angle brush. I'm going to see, I'm kind of wiggling it like that. And just going to come in here like this. And I'm going to come over here like this and wiggle this around and kind of twist the brush. You ever do that? Just kind of twist your brush. Okay. And then let's take some more white. I'll take a little yellow with it anyway. I'm going to come up here to the farthest part of where I want this to be. I think we're going to have just more white paint. Alright, and we're going to come around here like this. Say that that's all of this in here. Let's get a little bit more of the white coming this way. And we're doing an iris flower, in case you didn't recognize it.
No, I think you've nailed it pretty good. Again, the 6 colors that come with the set are black, white, primary yellow, primary magenta, and they call it turquoise blue, which is very close to Holbein's cyan. 2-ounce bottles of
Okay,
each.
so there's the white. Now the one thing I will say is that the white does not have as much opacity as I'm used to. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and deal with this anyway. Yes?
Yeah, we want to see what we can do exactly with this kit.
So we're just using their white anyway. So then what has to happen, let's see, like that, right? Then what has to happen is that what we need to do is just dry that, okay?
All right, go for it. All right, as she gets continuing drying with that, make sure if you want a chance to win this painting or a Salvador kit, it would be the regular kit, 24 colors, or 12 colors, 24 colors, 12 brushes. Make sure you enter our little drawing to do so. I think the gals have got the, I don't know if, matter of fact, I'm not sure if I gave them the link yet, did I? Yeah, I did. I don't know if it's, I haven't seen it go by yet. Haven't been watching down there though, but take a look for the link. And for the drawing. Yep, apparently it's out there. We've got about 120 people in it so far. You got to be in it to win it, folks. And let's see, we got any other questions I may be missing along the way here? Let's see.
All right, so you're back. I'm back on. Yes and yes.
Yes, Salvador is a soft body paint.
It's a soft body paint, but
Soft body paint.
It's not a fluid paint.
It's not a fluid paint. It's interesting they're using that container, but
it's not a fluid paint, but it is soft bodied. Now it does take a little longer to dry.
Because it is a wetter one.
And so you're not going to get the opacity on it, or the the light blocking off as you would if you were.
With the heavy bodies?
If you were doing the heavy body. So I'm going to just, certain places where I want this to be a little bit brighter, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a second coat of paint. Now that's just a little, takes a little longer, but it's doable, right? And the same thing up here. I want some really bright yellow up here, and trust me, I'm not going to get it unless I have
a good white foundation.
A good white foundation on here. Now I could have just left the flower out, but I wanted to just play with the background, see what we could do. Could have just painted the background yellow and left that, and use that, but I don't want to do that. So, and one thing about it is that the colors, because they have a tendency, I have noticed they have a tendency to stay wet longer for me. So that's sort of nice. So like I can do something with this now. I'm going to take a little bit of the magenta in the cyan, color this blue. A little bit of magenta and a little bit more blue. Okay. And I want to come under here like that, and it's going to paint very nicely here, like that little bit of a purple color right there.
It's a nice color.
And then I'm going to do a little bit going this way.
Oh, and the puzzle news from the puzzle community puzzle project. We're still trying to get our pieces together. I had a couple more people drop out, so I'm scrambling to get the next batch of people in. This has been a tough one as far as people staying in there, or let me know a little later than I was hoping that we can.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of this green color. Let's put a little bit of this blue with it. And darken that up right here. Didn't take much, did it? Okay, and we're going to say, here we go, and here's our little stem coming down here like that.
What would you use to darken it?
I took the green and I just added some blue to it to make it a little darker. So, alright, just a little bit darker with that, and it kind of gave me this blue-green color. And then I could come up here like this, kind of in here, like so, okay? So that's,
This iris is from a photograph I took.
yeah, John took a picture of an iris and it was really nice, so we're just using that. Now, I want to take a little bit of white here.
We always use references.
I'm looking at my iPad right now. I'm going to lighten that up right there with a little white. Okay, alright, and let's take a little bit of yellow here. Put a little bit of yellow right next to, just painting it on this side here. Let me turn it this way. Want a little yellow coming this way on the stem, like that. Alright, so, okay, so there's our little bit of a highlight. You can see that. And I think that worked pretty well, don't you? There you go. There we go. Okay, alright, so there's our light highlight. And you see, this is very, very tacky.
That white?
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to put a little bit of, I'm just going to put a little green. I want to go over this a little bit. Wasn't real wild about that purple color here, so I'm just going to go over it. Let's see what kind of coverage we get if you have to, change something and, maybe let some of that peek through, but you don't quite want it to. That's nice. So let's try a little bit of white into that light green. Let's see what we're getting here. That's pretty. So I guess the question is, when you're painting this, for instance, here's a bunch of white and light into a light green color. If I wanted this lighter up in here, maybe on this side to make it show up, right? Maybe I'd do something there. So remember, kind of remember how you made your greens. Write them down if you need to. This is almost white next to that in my photo. This is almost white here. So there, we're going to just do that. See how that's nice how that's, ooh, that's pretty. Let's come all the way up with that. There, next to that. That's nice. So now the flower, that sort of brought the flower a little forward. Yes? There we go. Something a little bit more interesting happening in our background than we just had. See what I just did? And the same thing here, too. Don't be afraid to play with your background, even though you have just got this far with it. Alright, so I know this is going to be kind of a bright, I need a bright yellow gold color, but this has to dry first. So let me just
go ahead.
Dry that.
Alright, other exciting news coming up. We are working on our first design class painting for the Wave and Water people, and I will be contacting them once we get a little bit further along. We're going to want to do some different things with that group of people. If you haven't heard, we're going to be adding some design elements to the Wave and Water membership of our senior academy at gingercooklive.gallery. What we're looking for is people that really want to participate and learn how to paint and give us some feedback on our next website design we hope to have released for next year, where we're going to combine all the academies. Everything's going to be under one roof finally. That's our goal for 2021. And again, we're working on our first lesson for the design group. We have a lot planned. And again, that's going to be just for the wave and water people, with hopes of getting feedback and comments and criticisms and whatever we need so we can make that an excellent offering.
All right, so what we've got is, I've noticed something, I'll tell you a little tip about this, is the paint has a tendency to stay wet. Hairdryer makes it a little tacky. Make sure you're putting a cold blast of cold air on it before you go too much further. Okay?
To cool it back off.
Yeah, so we need a bright orange color. So we're going to take some, I don't want any green in it. So I'm going to get some fresh yellow out, or blue. Okay? Now, here's some red. That's a cyan color, and yellow. It's going to be probably about 99% yellow, or 95%, and a little bit of that cad red, right? Now I want to come around here like this and add this orange color to the outline of this. That here to our little, there we go. A little more yellow with that. Want this kind of bright. You add more yellow if you want it brighter. Okay, so far so good. Alright, now what's going to happen here is I want a little magenta. Okay, and we're going to play with a little bit of orange right here like this. Coming that way. Coming that way.
You use warm air when you're drying it, and then when you're done drying,
you
hit it with the cold
air, because otherwise it
sets it the rest of the way.
It sets it. It sets it the rest of the way.
Otherwise, it's still tacky. Again, you're playing with plastic. You're playing with liquid plastic.
Yeah, it's still tacky. So here's this color coming in here like that. Okay. Yeah. So otherwise it's still tacky. Now I'm going to get a little bigger brush for the rest of the flower. And I'm just pretty much happy with that red, that magenta, and yellow. And but I want a lot of yellow in it. Probably, really, I want mostly yellow. So I'm going to come up here like this. And just again painting over that white color. And you see how nice and bright that is, because I've done that. We want to bring this down.
I don't have a blow dryer with a cool setting. Time to buy a new hair dryer.
Yeah, it is. They're very cheap right now. You don't need a good one. You just need one that goes cold as well as hot.
I'm not sure how much that one is that was given to us. I mean, looked it up, but it's a perfect one.
Oh, I love it. It's very lightweight. As long as you're looking for new hair dryers,
we'll add that to our little
you want to consider.
I need to remember to do that.
Okay.
And we can put an announcement in it, what it is.
All right. Now, I want white and magenta. This pink color. Do you see that?
What'd you use there?
Just white and magenta.
Hmm.
And I want to come up here like this. Okay, then I'm going to take a palette knife.
Oh, you're putting the veins into it.
Putting some veins in just like that, okay? We do the same thing here.
That's kind of
A lot
clever.
more white.
There is no discount code for the refill kit as of yet. We weren't given anything.
Well, having done the math, John, what is your feeling about that? Is it,
Seems like a fair price.
I mean, not a fair price, but I mean, would it be, at the way the kits are on sale now, would it be just better to buy another kit?
Well, this one, if you want to learn how to mix, this is a great mixing kit. Because you're basically working with cyan, magenta, and yellow, and black.
Yes.
And everything can be made from that. That's what your inkjet printer does.
Okay.
So with that in mind, if you want to learn to paint and mix, this is a great kit to do it with. If you don't want to mix, I'd get the other one. Because the brushes are great for their paint.
Yeah, I'm just using a little bit of water here and softening that edge. Do you see that?
Yeah, I like
I'm
that.
using a little bit of water here, just soften that edge, kind of erase that edge a little bit. Okay. Now, one thing we can do is I'm going to use a little golden glazing medium because I want to try something. I think you can, sometimes you need a translucent color. And the safest thing to use is glazing medium, and here's why. Because you can go so much thinner with glazing medium than you can with just water and a color, because glazing medium is pure acrylic. And so what it'll do is
Ooh.
it will allow you to do thin coats of color over white or over something lighter. See, and you know, you could if you just use plain water, because what you have to have happen is your paint has to adhere. And I'm just going to go over that a little bit like that. The same thing here. I'm just going to do it on this side. Because that still counts. If you're looking for, you know, what counts as color. Now that was a little bit too much color on my brush here. I'll put a little bit, kind of wipe some of that off with the glazing medium, right like that. Okay. And I might take a little bit of the yellow in glazing medium and see what I get. This yellow. Let's see what we can get with this. I'm kind of curious, aren't you guys? Now that's pretty. Look at that orange I'm getting.
That's a great orange. How'd you get that orange?
That was the glazing medium and the yellow and the magenta. And
That's a pretty color.
That's a pretty color, isn't it? So maybe we could do a little of that. Let's just try that. A little bit of yellow and magenta and some glazing medium. See what we get up here like that. See, because what you're looking for is some translucency. There you go. It's a little bit darker. There's a section down here under the umbrella, under here, where there's a little bit of a, this is a little darker right here, like that. Okay, so we're starting to put our shadows in, our flower. No, I didn't, well, it's pretty dry. Here we go, a little bit of yellow and a little bit of glazing medium, a little bit of yellow. Let's see what we get. There we go, and I know that I want a little bit of a shadow right in here like that. Nothing is ever just one color. Does that make sense? Nothing is ever just one color. So now, if I want this, flower to stand out, now I've got to start adding some lights. Does that make sense? I've got to start adding some of the lights that are going to go in here. So I'm just going into white and yellow. Okay, I haven't dried too much, right? And let's just bring this around like this and suggest that this little flower petal here is kind of bent back. A little bit of yellow with that and white. And putting on the paint fairly thick. Do you see that? I'm saying that that's bent back. Here, there's a little light right there. And then this right here, there it goes. That's light right there. I'm going to add this light. Okay. So it layers nicely, you know, kind of as we're trying to decide what we like or don't like. And it.
Now you think it's the same paint that's in the tubes?
It's the same paint that's in the tubes, I believe. It's staying wet.
It seemed like it when I did the little palette
I feel like it's the same paint that's in the tubes, and we're definitely getting that. We're definitely getting that. We're definitely getting that effect that we get when we paint in the tubes. Yes and yes?
Yes and yes.
So, here's a little bit thicker yellow. Here's something here that's a little bit more yellow right there. So you can see we can kind of layer and blend a little bit, yeah. And let's see, this kind of came in like that in my picture. All right, so can you layer this? Can you? Yeah, absolutely. Can you layer this? Can you add a few little things like this? You notice that in the beginning I was drying quite a bit, not so much right now. Okay.
Do you know what flotrol is? Flotrol?
I don't.
Then I won't ask you if it can be considered a glaze. I don't know what it is either.
I don't either. I just know that I'll tell you what. My daughter Cinnamon is,
The all-knowing.
she's to talking about products. This kid really knows her stuff, and she's the one that put me on to this golden glazing medium, and I don't use anything else. Just a little bit more magenta here. See, we're starting to add a little bit more of the colors, yeah. And nothing.
Oh, that's used for paint for
nothing
paint
is
pouring.
ever just one color. Yeah. And that's the fun part about painting, flowers like this. It can be very impressionistic, but we still want it, we want the feel of that. Now, I'm trying to see what I can do without having, this is still pretty wet, but I can put some purple over that. So magenta and blue, yes, and white, more magenta. I want a nice deep kind of purple. Let's put some
It's
more
for house
blue in
paint. Cinnamon says don't use it. Look for a pouring medium.
there. Yeah, okay.
That's where I've heard the word before.
Yeah, all right. So this flower here is very dark down here. But in this case, we had to put our darker colors on last.
Yes, we are using a photograph that I took a few years ago.
Yeah. This is a photograph. Jon is really good. We've got some beautiful photographs. And the photograph, for those of you who want the actual photograph, that will be in our basic
Acrylic artist.
artist.com, and we'll have that photograph in there. So I want this a little bit more purple in here, like this.
Refill kit sells for $19.95.
And and then I just debate whether it's more practical to have the refill kit or just buy another set, because what'd you say, it was like $19.95, and then you had.
Again, I think it boils down, do you want to mix colors or do you want to have your colors ready to go? I mean, that's really the bottom line. So you've been able to mix every color I think we've needed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you do a brown though. Can you give us a brown?
Yeah, I can, but not right this second.
Well, no, you don't need a brown right now. I'm not sure where you'd put a brown, but...
Okay, so I want a little bit of magenta and red, or yellow, and I want a little bit more red right here. Okay, so you can see where we're kind of getting the colors, right?
It's coming along nicely.
Yeah, you can kind of see where we're kind of getting that. And is this dried enough to play? So this is very tacky and wet.
What is? Which one?
These paints stay wet a lot longer,
Yeah.
I have found.
I found when I was doing a little sample strip I did, they took forever to dry.
Yeah, they don't dry fast with the hairdryer, but that's okay.
No.
That's all right.
It gives you working time.
All right, so what do we know for sure? We know we need some more white up in here. Remember, you can still build up your layers, yeah.
I really treat their white more as a transparent or zinc white.
It's very translucent.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm starting to add a few little white highlights here, like that. All right, so it's it's coming around. I want some real pretty turquoise blue there. I've decided I want that. So let's get some white and yellow, and I want a little bit of turquoise blue right in here.
White, yellow, and what? White and yellow is not going to give you that color.
And blue, white and yellow and blue. Yeah, white
You
and yellow
didn't
and blue.
finish that. You left
Oh,
us hanging on that one.
Oh, sorry. I just, yeah, so I want a little bit, I want some blue next to this flower now that I'm playing with it, because I think that's pretty, right? Let's just get some, I want some blue. I'm going to play with I love how you can layer, and I feel like we needed a little bit more of this blue color back up here in our background. Let's play a little bit more with the turquoise. Okay, just playing with that. Now let's take a little bit of the yellow and the green.
Those are pretty much the colors that's in the flower.
Yeah, those are the colors
She's
that are in
not
the flowers.
She's not going nuts on this one.
There, and I'll put a little bit of green over it. See, but I got one of the little bluer close to that flower. Now, what I want to do now is put a little more white out.
Yeah, Jenny, I'd use their mixing white as their white as a mixing white. You can see right through it. I mean, she just put it on there, and you can see right through it.
You can, can't you?
Yeah.
You can see right through it. Yes and yes.
That's a good mixing white.
Okay, yeah, it's very, very translucent. So that's a little bit of an experiment. But, there's nothing that says you have to use, when you buy a brand of paint, you don't have to use everything they have, right? So, for instance, I buy Holbein certain colors in Holbein. I don't buy everything they make, right? I just buy colors that I can't get anywhere else. And so, if you like something like that, you can always change the brand of white you use. Yes and yes?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, for instance, right here, remember you saw me lighten that up. But I'm going to do it again anyway, right there. So lighten that flower up right there, and maybe lighten this up right there.
I think the paint's looking pretty darn good.
So we're just kind of doing the mixing white here like that. Now, we still have some blue to put. So here's some white and the blue, and I want a very light color. So here's the thing. You've got to go with this paint, you've got to do about 99% white and then a little blue if you want something really light, because the white is very translucent. So I want some blue in this flower like this. Just sort of drag it over here like this. And then maybe a little stronger.
I'd like to thank Andrew for the donation that came in this evening. He says, I'm super excited for the design class. Can't wait.
Oh, we are too, Andrew. Thank you so much.
I told him we have the first one we're working on.
Yeah, we are.
We'll be communicating with the Wave and Water people, because I got to get them, those that really want to participate, enrolled into another website that we're going to be building that hopefully will be our combined website when we're done at the first of the year.
Yeah.
That's our goal.
So
We always have goals.
This flower had another little purple flower behind it that was sort of pretty. I'm going to put it in.
That was his little
picture.
buddy.
There was like a little
Thank you very
bud
much,
back
Andrew.
here. Thank you, Andrew. That was so nice. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so I'm still playing with this. So it's a little bit of yellow and white again. You guys with me? I want to come out here like this. How much of this can you keep layering? As I layer the yellow, it's happier. Do you guys see that? If I layer the yellow, it's a little bit happier. Okay. Here we go. Putting that on. Here's a little bit. Let's just try a little bit of yellow right here. Now, see, this is where on a painting like this, I would just go get the Posca pens and do stuff like this.
But I restricted her.
We said we wouldn't, right?
Nope, everything's from this kit. Only thing we added would be the glazing medium.
But I want this translucent orange right here. There we go, something very bright right there. Okay. And let's see, let's see. A little magenta goes a long way. Yellow, not so much. Magenta goes a long way.
Well, yellow, if you look at it, it's a transparent color.
Let's just pull this in here like that.
And that magenta, that's a very strong pigment. And so's the blue.
Yes, so's the blue. Now, what I'm finding is that I don't have a really bright red. That magenta isn't bright enough for me, like a cad red or something like that. It just isn't bright. For me, that's not bright enough. And that's okay. And, but you know me, I like very bright colors, right? I like heavy pigmented bright colors. So if I want to come in here like this, and just see, we're getting a little contrast on this flower now. So for me, I'll show you the difference now that I've done this. I'm going to show them the difference, John. Because this is about what I can do with this, right? But what you have to understand is the way they make paints. Okay, the way that paints are made is it's all about the pigment powders that are in it. Does it make sense?
Yep, the chemicals.
So it's what's inside it. So, and they're expensive. Certain ingredients. I had a guy tell me one time that one of the reasons that people don't like to buy red cars is because they fade. I mean, you know that, right?
Yes.
They have a tendency to fade, red cars. And this one, the guy that made Matisse paint told me that. He's in charge of all their paints. He said the cad red medium, if they used pure cad red medium in car paint, it would not fade.
But you couldn't afford the paint.
But you couldn't afford the paint. But I'm telling you, there's people out there that can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then they can buy another car, too, probably cheaper than they can buy, you know what I mean? Or just afford to repaint it, or just get another one when it starts to fade. Or they have a fancy garage with a lift, and the car actually isn't driven anywhere anyway. I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen in here, right? Look, we're just kind of playing with our background now.
Would you like to talk a little bit more about your ambitions and hopes for the design class? We've had some interest in what that's all about.
Our idea behind it, at some point you know how to paint all the words. You know how to paint a cherry or a tree or a bucket or a person or whatever. You kind of know, you look at something, paint it. But now it's like being able to read and write and then try to write a novel. So how much time did you spend, how many days of school did you spend learning how to write a paragraph and then write stories? And yet, how many authors do we have? How many authors do we actually have that are best-selling authors? Okay, because if you think about it, Mozart and making a composition. So when you're talking about design, we're talking about having to look at a photograph and understand how to turn it into a reasonable composition. And it's going to involve lights and darks and balance and shapes and subject and center of interest and all of those things. Yeah.
Picture patterns.
Picture patterns. I like
controlling the viewer's eye.
Yeah, all of those things that that you want to say are part of that. Okay. So I'm kind of liking this picture. I think it's kind of cute, right?
Yeah, it's come along nicely.
I think there was a little purple under here. Did I do that? Did I run out of purple? That's okay. There was a little purple right under here too that I had to turn. Add to this little petal right there. Make it a little bit darker. I keep looking at the photograph and I'll see something and I go, oh, yeah, I got to do that too. See that? I got to do that too. So, you know, then you're asking yourself, you know, what makes some paintings really awesome and others are just busts, and how do you and that's not to say that that you won't ever have a painting that's a bust again, right? But if it's one, you may know a little bit more why it is, and how to pick good photographs, and And we want you to be at a certain level of painting before you do it. Does that make sense? Because we don't want you to try to learn design and still struggle about spelling the words. Does that make sense?
Yes and yes. So true.
So we're just saying that there's a few of these little pink. There's a nice pink in this. I will say that. There's definitely a nice pink.
We're getting quite a few accomplished artists out there that are ready to really
They're ready for this
out.
next. They're ready for this next step. They're ready to sit there and say, "What can I do to bring my painting goals closer? How am I going to create my own stuff that really is going to express how I feel about the world?" A lot of times, you guys are not short of good ideas. Usually, good ideas are fine, but sometimes it's just hard, getting the implementing of them. All right. So you can see where I think I'm pretty close to finished with this little flower.
This flower was in my garden back in Michigan.
I think I want a darker green. Let's try a
field,
little bit of black and
quite a
dark green.
Quite a bit of irises.
That. Black and that green color. Let's see if I can get a real dark green doing that.
I bet you can.
Yeah, okay, so I wanted a little bit darker green right here. Okay, it's a little better, right?
When the design class is fully implemented and ready to go for anybody, there'll be like an admission basically test to make sure that you're ready and really, because it's going to be limited on how many people are going to have in there at any one time, we're thinking right now. Because we want people that really want to learn to paint and really, this is what they want to do. And we want to be able to give them the attention that we think they deserve. Because
we do design. Every one of our tutorials on our academy has some type of design with it. We talk about that on all of them anyway, okay? And you have personal art coaching that helps you with some of your original stuff when you send it in to me, yes?
Yes and yes.
There's a little bit of yellow there, right? Just, I'm having fun using up some of this paint, you guys, but I wanted to just, there.
Can you make me a brown?
Yeah, John wanted to know how you'd make a brown. Let me put a little magenta out, and I'll show you. Maybe we'll put a brown somewhere. Here. If I wanted to make brown, I'd make an orange color like this, yellow and magenta, yeah? And then I'd put a little black in it, and I've got a brown. Right there, there's my brown, do you see it?
Wow. It's almost like a burnt umber.
Yeah, it's like a burnt umber, or burnt sienna. Here, so I put a little on this picture so you can see it. So there's a little bit of a brown color, right? And that's how I'd make it.
So what color can't you make?
Well, what I'm not getting, John, is the really, really bright, like a cad red, right?
Bring out a cad red. Let's see what a cad red looks like.
Let me just show you what a cad red looks like.
Just a little drop. Don't go crazy.
There's cad red. Now let me just show you. Let's take a little bit of cad yellow and cad red. All right, and a little bit more yellow with it. And I want you to see how much brighter this is going to be with it. A little bit more cad red with it. See how much brighter that color is? Right there. I don't know if you can see it or not. I'm going to take a little of that cad red and put a little bit right here on this part of the, I'm just going to go pure cad red. This is one of the benefits of having lots of marvelous colors is now when you put cad red over green, it doesn't do anything, but you put cad red over yellow and you've really got something. Okay, see that? You put it on, and it's just a tiny amount, and it's a little cad red. Where else might I put it? Well, there's not a lot up here, but you know, let's just say that we'll put a little bit of this shadow color right there, and maybe some of this coming in here like that. It just pops the color up a little bit, right? I feel. Here it is. I'm going to put some over here like that.
I was wondering, do you use a large bucket of water? I've been using mason jar, and it's dirty quick.
I use this. Can you see it?
It's got three little
containers.
buckets.
I never bought a bucket till I found these. For years, I just used whatever, you know. And then I love this, right?
It has 3 compartments in it.
And then see, here's why I would use. Just move some stuff. Here's why I would use a Posca pen. I'm sorry, but what's the point of having toys if you don't use them? Yes? I'm sorry, what's the point? Don't you agree, you guys? What's the point of having toys if you don't use it? Buy all these things, you don't use them. Okay, that's not the one. I feel like Goldilocks. Where's my real light one?
All right, I think she's finishing up here. She's going to get ready to sign it, so make sure you have entered, because we're going to be picking a winner chicken dinner.
We are. All right.
We are.
But all in all, I mean, I think the colors, I mean, I could go on vacation with these colors and certainly paint something, but I'd be tempted to take that cad red. I might be tempted to...
You'd probably take a cad red, and you'd probably take
a white.
Take a white.
And
I don't know what else you would need, though. The yellow
well, I
seems to be
mean, you
pretty
can't,
good.
nobody can get that Holbein
Well...
paint. I'm just saying,
that
right?
luminous
rose.
rose.
That luminous rose from Holbein is pretty tough to beat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it just is. I'm just saying, it just absolutely is. There, I just wanted a few of these little lighter things on here like that.
So today's question was, how many colors of paint do you have right now?
Yeah, that's a good question,
Embarrassing,
John.
probably over 200. How would you even know what to use? 120. I quit counting. 350. Okay, you need help. I'm sorry, you need help. 20-ish, 30-ish,
Well,
35-ish, 80-ish.
You know, you get down to like, you get down to like your favorite few, right?
See, I would probably, well, I don't know what I would do, because I don't
just want you to
paint.
see how much brighter. This is
Not yet.
This is a Holbein yellow, right?
What's the Holbein yellow?
And I want you to see right here. I want you to see how much brighter this is. Now I'm going to go back to their yellow and see what if I put it on again, would it be brighter? Yeah. So I just needed to brighten up this flower. I'm sorry, I needed to feel like this flower.
You don't have to apologize, my queen.
I needed to brighten up
Not
this
when
flower.
it comes to color.
You know, brighten up the color. I mean, that's kind of what...
That's what it's all about.
It is, isn't it? Just, you know what I mean? Because that's where people say, well, because yellow's one of those primary colors that you really, again, what you're buying when you're paying more money for paint is you're buying the
You're buying the pigment.
You're buying the pigment. You know, you're buying the pigment.
The Posca pens we currently have are the nib ones. We have brush ones on order, coming straight from Japan, apparently.
Yeah, coming straight from Japan, right? And which are cool, right? And like for instance, there was something in this picture right here. I'm going to do magenta and cad red medium and white. See if I can get a color I want right here. There was a little bit of red right here. Is that going to, once you go with their magenta, is that going to help? Yeah.
All right, so how many people we want to have this? 340.
Yeah? There, okay.
Got a few people that are looking forward to this painting. Let's see who we can give it to.
All right, we can do that, you know.
We can do that.
So let me just take it. I mean, you know, we could play with it for a little bit longer, but I think you get the idea. Here it is on here we've got it on
A blue
just
sky.
plain blue, you know, kind of blue-green background. And Again, I'm not against. I like not against. Let's get a little green going here. Here, like that. Glaze over this white right like that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Just glaze over some of that color right there. Wow, neat, huh? Don't discount glazing.
I don't discount it.
I know you don't, but you know,
I
just
like
saying
it
you
because
know.
it gives it the watercolor that I like.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, you've got a nice. You know, I'm not done here, right? I want a little bit of light up here on this edge.
I have the winner. Is
We picked somebody out now.
I
like
did.
it. It's got the...
Barb Arden from Georgia.
Oh, hey Barb, congratulations. We haven't sent anything to Georgia in a while, have we?
No, we have not.
That's a big. That's too wide. The black is the wider tip. See that? And you want the skinnier. The clear is the skinnier tip. You're talking
what?
about
What are you doing? What? Where?
For signing.
Oh,
For
yeah.
signing your painting.
Yes.
The like for instance here, I'm just take some of their ink right here and put it on a brush here. See? See what you can do with their. I mean, you can paint with that ink too.
Well, it's acrylic paint.
I know, but people don't think about that, do they?
I don't know. I haven't really done this. That could be next week's question.
Could it be?
It could be.
All right.
Do you think about the paint that's in your Posca pen?
Yeah.
That could be a great question.
Yeah. Do you ever use anything else? Here you go. So I'm going to sign it right here.
All right. So Barb, use a contact us. Maybe mail me or email me your mailing address. And don't just write me and say, "Whoo, I won," without giving me your address. Because I know you get excited and you get confused. We all do.
Yeah, that's good. Congratulations. I think this is really fun. Do we have a paint kit to give away tonight?
We do, and I have a winner for that.
Oh my gosh, you guys have paint kit
It's
too?
unbelievable. I don't know how I do this.
I don't either, John. You're amazing.
Slice and dice and julienne fries, all in the same night. So
Do you remember that? Do you remember those? Yes. How fun is that, right? Slice and dice and...
Slices and dices, julienne fries, in a matter of minutes. Amaze your friends.
Oh, you're so funny.
I missed my calling in life. I could have been an announcer.
Oh, I think John has the voice for it, don't you guys?
Winner.
Hey, we want to do a fist bump before we leave too. Kind of solidarity, you guys. We're in it till we're in it. Forever.
We're in it till we're no longer in it.
We're in it till we're no longer in it.
Salvador.
This is just going on
Paint
and on.
kit.
Right?
Is this person here? Joanne Mickelson.
Ooh, congratulations, Joanne.
So Joanne, if you're still out there, please email me.
Absolutely, email.
And I pass your information on to my contact, and she'll take care of it. We need your mailing address as well.
Neat, huh?
So thank you for everybody that attended. We will be back Monday. Right? Today's Thursday?
Yeah.
Who even knows what day it is anymore? I thought you were done with this. You signed it. Oh, you blurred your signature there, Lovey.
Oh, looky there. Well, you have to be careful. Watch that, you guys, because the Posca pens don't dry for about 5 minutes.
Apparently.
Or they're with the hairdryer, right? So be sure to watch that.
Typically, when you sign it, you're done painting.
I know, but I didn't put the red slash through, so it doesn't count. Did not put the red slash through. I'm going to do a fist bump before I do. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Fist bump,
you
fist
guys
bump.
hang in there.
Hang in there. We're going to be back Monday, like I said, 5:30 Central Time. Same wonderful YouTube channel. It's the only one we got. Well, except for the tech bear, but he doesn't do anything over there.
All right, you guys.
Hey, I do all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I know you do.
Who does all kinds of stuff?
The bear over here.
He said that? I'm still playing.
I thought you were done.
I lied. I'm sorry, I lied. I want a little bit of red right here.
I'm hungry. What's for dinner?
Yeah, I don't know. You're making it. What are we having?
I'm having my beans.
All right, had to have a little red right there. You saw that.
Why
right?
did you do the red out there?
Well, because it was part of the petal that I had missed.
Oh.
So, I had a petal and I missed it, and there
Well, it kind of goes with the other one.
Yeah,
It'll work.
it just had to be right there. I
Okay.
missed part of that petal.
Yeah. Perfect
All right,
now.
so hang in there, you guys. I keep looking at the reference. You can't see it. Keep looking at the reference and changing it a little bit. Well, I wanted this more impressionistic, and I feel
think you
like
got it.
I think we got it. I feel like we definitely
I think you're there.
we got it, right?
All right, say goodbye.
Bye, guys.
See you guys on. No, we won't see you. You'll see us on Monday, 5:30
Bye.
Central.
Thanks for coming.
Bye, everyone.